Welcome back to Nostalgianomics. So unless you've been living under a rock, you know these Sword and Shield alt arts have went to the absolute moon. And if you also haven't been living under a rock, you've probably noticed, some of you have, some of you haven't, the trainer galleries in those sets are starting to follow as people finally give up and say, you know what, a lot of these alt arts are too expensive. I'll go after the trainer galleries. Well, now that sent them skyrocketing and they're on the next train to the moon with the alt arts. And so this video is going to be about showing exactly what's going on with those and then talking about what's coming next. And you can't just always look at the past and talk about plays after they happen. We have to try to get ahead of these things before they happen. So we're going to talk about some of the trainer galleries that haven't mooned yet, that might be the next play. We're also going to talk about, you guessed it, Scarlet Violet era, because I think a lot of these illustration rares and even SIRs can be very undervalued when compared to these trainer galleries. Look, I'm not trying to compare SIRs to alt arts. You can't do it. They're not as hard to hit. They are nowhere near the popularity they're following the alt arts have. However, when you're looking at the price of some of these trainer galleries compared to some of these SIRs and some of these illustration rares, that is comparable. That is apples to apples, if not more so on the side of SIRs being rarer than trainer galleries. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity here. So I thought we could go through this and look at that. And also, I wanted to bring this to your attention. All sets are not created equal. All right. And what I mean by that is Pokemon does not seed each set equally with the same amount of hits, with the same amount of alt art, same amount of trainer galleries, same amount of SIRs, same amount of IRs. And there's a reason why some sets are stronger. It's not some subjective opinion on, oh, I like those Pokemon or those arts better. There's a reason why some sets are stronger. It's because they're seeded with so many more hits than others. And that's what I'm going to bring your attention to in the Scarlet Violet era, and then show you some boxes that are still hugely good pickups at the current prices because of how strong they could be in the future because of this reasoning. It's not to say the amount of hits always, justifies the price point. It has to do with the pull rates and how hard they are to pull. It has to do with the popularity of the species in that set. There's a lot of other factors, but this is a major factor to take into consideration why these sets move. So let's jump into all this good stuff. Before I do this, guys, I have to shout out today's video sponsor. It's Low Poppin'. Guys, Low Poppin' is always buying, selling, and trading. So you see something on their site that you like, you can always purchase it. If you want no cash to change hands, you just want it to be a straight trade, reach out to them at info@lowpopping.com or on Instagram at lowpopping. Or, hey, if it's something really expensive, you can always make an offer. You can buy now, pay later type stuff. But guys, they got something for everyone as always. English, Japanese, modern, vintage, sealed slabs, signed cards. It really doesn't matter. They got it. So make sure to check out Low Poppin'. They have a lot of good deals. I found deals on there. So they are competitive. And they have a lot of things you might not find anywhere else. I'll leave the link in the description in the comment section below. All right. Let's talk about some of these things that are moving. Then we'll talk about some of the things I see possibly moving. So the Umbreons, the Sylveons, even the Mimikyus are moving in Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery. I still don't understand how people think Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery is somehow weaker than Lost Origin, but I'm not on that bandwagon. I think Lost Origin is number 2 compared to Brilliant Stars, but that's just me. These cards are absolutely mooning. I mean, $50 Umbreons now. Both of them are around $50 raw. The Sylveons are in the 20s and 30s. Even the Mimikyus are jumping up from under $10 to like the teens and 20 area. Even the graded cards are unstoppable. I mean, $150 for the V, $160, $170 for the V Max. It's absolutely incredible to see what is happening with these. You go to Astral Radiance, obviously the Starmie V, we talked about that in another video. It's going to the moon. But this Garchomp, the Garchomp came out of nowhere. Guys, look at this chart on the Garchomp. I mean, this was a $20 card like less than a month ago. Now it's going for $55. That is a 150% gain? 150+% gain in literally a month. Astronomical. There were really smart people in the Discord that did see this play. They did make the play, and congrats to them. You guys are rock stars. And then not much else moving. Not much else is moving in this set, but we'll get to that in just a second. All right, Starmie V, again, it's hitting all new highs, $180 recent sale now on the PSA 10. The Garchomp is now pushing 100 plus in a PSA 10. Again, wild. So here's Lost Origin. This is why I say Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery is better, right? You got the V Max, you got the V. That's really the only big stuff that's moving in Lost Origin, guys. Like, this Trainer Gallery is not all it's hyped up to be. It's just got the Pikachus, right? But now, saying that, the Pikachus are absolutely mooning too. This is now a $50 card in the V Max. You go look at the chart. Literally, it was like a $30 card a month, 2 months ago. Now it is going for high 40s. I have seen sales in the 50s. It looks like it's back in the mid 40s now, which is nice. The V is doing well too. It's a $30 card. If we go look at what they're selling for, well, the V Max is now hitting the, I would say, $130 to $150 range. The V is now a $100 card. It looks like recent sale at $100. So Trainer Galleries finally getting the love they deserve. Even Silver Tempest, right? We all know about the Rayquaza V Max, but even the Blazikins are starting to get some love, and there may be some other things creeping up. We'll talk about that, other things we've been discussing in the old Discord. But yeah, I mean, same thing, guys. Rayquaza, $130, $150 card now. The Blaziken V Max is creeping up, $50, $60 card these days. So tons of stuff has been moving. All right. We talked about all the stuff that's moving. Let's talk about Alex. What's next, though? Right? We already know that stuff's moving. Where do we go from here? We can't just talk about the past. We got to talk about the future. No problem. I got you covered. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back, guys. Let's look at Brilliant Stars. All right. Obviously, the easy money's been made on all this stuff up here, all these big guys, right? Everyone kind of knew those were going to be a thing one day, and now they are a thing, and the easy money's been made. What's next? Well, I know how people feel about the yellow borders. They're not as sought after. However, when you have evolutions on the yellow borders, I still believe these are undervalued. I think they're great grading plays, and I do think these are going to continue to do well. So these are kind of my picks from Brilliant Stars at the current price points, right? Not saying they're going to be anywhere near any of these cards up here, but at the current price points at $2 and $3 a card, they still make sense. All right. Astral Radiance. I love the legendary bird cards, right? I love the Moltres V, Zapdos V, and Articuno V at the current price points. They're like $4 to $8 a card. I think all of those could follow suit and be right behind the Garchomp eventually. Look, I'm not saying the Zacian and the Calyrexes and all those things can't do well. I'm just saying, I mean, I like these are Gen 1 Pokemon. I like how they have the trainers in the cards. I mean, these do too. I'm just saying. I do believe in these legendary birds. Nowhere near as much as like the Starmie V or the Garchomp, but I do see these cards all being, more than $10. I could see them getting in like the low teens. Maybe Moltres hits 20, something like that. And I just think there's very good plays on those as we are in this current market. Now going to Lost Origin. Look, I'm one of the few people that actually like the black and gold cards. If you're going to get the black and gold cards, it's going to be the Pikachu, the Mew VMAX, and then also the Rayquaza VMAX from Silver Tempest. So I do think there is some opportunity here. And then going to that yellow border thing, I get it. It's yellow borders. They're not as sought after. I do like the Gengar, Charizard, Pikachu, and Snorlax, though. I think at $2 to $4 or $5, all these are still undervalued. I could see all of these being $10 cards eventually, too. All right. And then last but not least, Silver Tempest. The Blaziken V and VMAX, they're actually still low in my opinion, right? A $10 and $8 card. I still like these plays, even though they've already seen some growth. A lot of people in Discord like the Superior play. A lot of people are making this play. I do like that play as well. There's Aurora's a good Pokemon, the Blissey, and then obviously this Rayquaza VMAX, this gold, yellow, green card, black card. I do like that at $5. So those are kind of my picks from Silver Tempest right now. I'm sure there might be some other ones, but those are definitely my top picks. And so those are the trainer galleries I think can still see some movement if you're still looking to move into those. Now, moving on to Scarlet and Violet. Before we get into some of the illustrations and SIRs I like right now, all right? Let me explain to you why these sets can see increases in the future based on how strong they are and how not all sets are created equal. Look right here. I searched by illustration rares and special illustration rares. That's it. There's only 34 of those in Scarlet and Violet base. All right. When you go to Paldea, there's 51. You see how all sets aren't created equal? Pokemon picks winners and losers when they create a set. Okay. Going forward from there, Obsidian Flames only has 18. So it's not my opinion of saying Obsidian Flames is a weak set. It's a weak set because Pokemon made it a weak set. Look, there's only one page of hits. They only put 18 SIRs and illustration rares in the set. That's it. That's it. So it's not people saying like it's their opinion it's a weak set. It's just objectively a weak set because there's just not many hits in the set. Now, it's a benefit for opening it because you have a lot better chance of pulling the card you want, right? But overall, I think that's going to be an issue for Obsidian Flames going forward. Now, Paradox Rift, 49. Second to only Paldea Evolved. And then we go to Temporal Forces, which has 32. But I think this is okay because the hit rates got harder. And so Temporal Forces, even though it's a low hit rates or a low set for hits, it might do okay because these SIRs became a lot harder to hit. I opened like 3 booster boxes on my last stream and pulled 0 SIR. So it's definitely become a lot harder. And so it's not, again, the amount of hits isn't an end-all be-all, but it is a factor. And so when we look at Paradox Rift and we go on eBay and it's still $534.44 a case. That's less than $90. Look, I shout out Eli's wholesale program a lot, where you can jump in his program. You can buy at his cost from distributors. It's like $88 a booster box, but then you got to pay fees and shipping, and it ends up being like $91, $92 a box. This is less than what you can buy from distribution for. This is less than what stores are buying from. This means moving in under $90 a booster box on the set that has the second most hits in all of Scarlet Violet era so far. I think it's a good play. I think it's a good pickup. Yes, I will leave the link in the description to this listing. Yes, it will be an affiliate link. Yes, I do get some commission from that. Yes, you are supporting the channel. If you don't want to support the channel that way, by all means, don't click the link. But cost you nothing. Help support the channel. I will leave this link because I do think it's a great pickup. And then also Scarlet Violet base still being under $90 a box as well. It is the third most hits. I get the hits aren't as great as the other sets, but I still think anything under $90 a box is a great pickup for booster boxes, because 1-2 years down the road, you're going to be looking back and saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this stuff is $150, $200 a box. I could have bought it at 90, and it's the same old Groundhog's Day story over and over again. So I think when you can find these boxes at these prices, they are still good pickups if you haven't picked them up yet. All right. Getting into Scarlet Violet base, what do I see opportunities here? Well, I still like the Miraidon, the Coreodon. I like the Gardevoir line, right? You know, the Gardevoir second biggest hit in the set. I do like the Curlia and the Ralts still being under $10. And then, you know, the Riolu might do okay. There's some other cards. You know, Scarlet Violet base, it's admittedly a weaker set. I get it, but I think there are good pickups here. These SIRs being at $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, it seems crazy to me. Going in Paldea, I mean, if you're thinking, you know, cards like a Raichu in the 20s or a Tyranitar at around $20 can't end up being $30, $40, $50 cards like we've seen in some of these other trainer galleries, you're out of your mind. I think those are great. Obviously, these legendaries being in the set, you know, Chi-Pao, Chi-Yu, you know, Ting Lu way down here, and Wo Qian way down here at like $5, $6. Crazy to see that. But even these starters, guys, like the Skeledirge, the starter, $13. The Meowscarada starter, $12. Fuecoco, like some of these just seem very low to me. You got the Meryl, the Peekaboo down here at $7. You know, if we go to the second page, you can still see like the Florgatito, you get the Quaquaval. This is the top evolve starter at $5 card. Quaxley down at $3. Like, guys, these are the cards that you see at $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8. And then when all hell breaks loose, like we've seen with Sword and Shield era, these are the trainer galleries that we saw go from like, you know, $8, $10 to $30, $40. We could see the same thing with these cards in the future go to $10, $20, $30, right? So something to keep an eye on. Going to Obsidian Flames, there's not a lot in Obsidian Flames. I get it. But, you know, the Pidgey line, right? Pidgeot, SIR, $10. This Ninetales, $6 seems extremely undervalued for an illustration rare. Scizor looks good. The Pidgeotto, Pidgey line look good. So, yeah, there's still hits available that are good pickups in Obsidian Flames. You go to Paradox. I mean, guys, Gold Dango. Guys, under $20 on Gold Dango. That seems ridiculous. Look at this. An SIR Garchomp. Look, I'm not putting these on the level of alt arts, but you have to put in a special illustration ahead of a trainer gallery. Am I right? It's definitely harder to hit than a trainer gallery. This is a $17 Garchomp. Then we go back and look at the Garchomp from Astral, and it's $50. So here's what you have to ask yourself. Are we early? Yeah, we're early. Could it take 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years for this to move? Yeah, it could. But when it does, would you be happy paying $15, $16, $17 for this card, holding it for a year to 2 years to end up being a $50 card? If you say yes, then this could be a good pickup. This could be something to look at. There's other cards in the set as well as you go through it. I'm going to go through the second page, see if I can see any others that jump out. This Gimme Gold card, I think it's a beautiful card. $5 card looks good to me. Loudred looks cool. I mean, there's just so many awesome arts that are just getting overlooked because they're plentiful right now and they're everywhere, same way the trainer galleries did until recently. And then we go to the old Temporal Forces, very strong set. Obviously, the Ghastly Solid Pump, now it's back down. Maybe a good pickup at the current price. And some of these other ones, the Arbok, Lickitung. I mean, guys, these are all cards that no one's going to want for today, next month, maybe even the next few months, maybe even the rest of this year. Mark my words, though, there will come a time when the boxes get expensive, when certain, you know, big influencers start talking about them and start opening these packs, and people eventually have this, like, this second wind, this second love for these cards, and they're going to come back and they're going to pick them up. And you're going to see the prices rise. And when the prices rise, you're going to see more people want them because, oh, all of a sudden now I want it because the price is higher and it seems more scarce. And you're going to get left behind again if you don't start looking ahead and constantly just buy into booms instead of getting in before booms, even though it's considered dead money. Well, guess what? If you were in this Umbreon, right? Let's just go back. I'm going to share the screen one more time because we're going to talk about this whole dead money thing, right? If you would have gotten this Umbreon, we're going to go back, right? You would have gotten this Umbreon, right? We'll say way back here, $21. You would have been sitting on dead money from October all the way through March. What is that? 6 months, 5-6 months? You'd have been sitting on dead money. And you'd have seen everyone on all the Discords and Instagrams and YouTubes posting their plays, talking about how they're making money here and there. You're stupid for holding it. And now all of a sudden, it went to $50, over $50. And now all of a sudden, you've made 150% on your money in a month, right? Now that 6, 7, 8 months you held doesn't look so stupid, does it? And the same is going to be true for these Scarlet Violet era boxes and these Scarlet Violet era hits. You're going to look stupid and people are going to make fun of you and you're going to sit on them for, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, maybe more. And then all of a sudden, something's going to happen and everyone's going to cry market manipulation. Everyone's going to cry buyouts and everyone's going to say, all these things. But what's going to happen is you're going to make all those gains in a matter of a few weeks and a month. And it's going to make up for all the time you've been holding it. And you're going to look like a genius. And it's going to be the same thing over and over again, like we always see in this hobby. So guys, don't get wrapped up in, you don't want to be too early or you don't want to have dead money. If you see a play and it makes sense to you and it's a good card and it's a good hit and you've seen how other like cards and like hits have done time and time again, era after era, it may be time to pick those up, as well as some of these boxes like Paradox Rift under $90 when it's got the second most hits in the entire era. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. That's all I got today, guys. If you do want to pick anything up, I'll throw the links in the description comment section. You can help support the channel if you want to. But by no means, don't go pick things up just because I posted things. I'm not trying to pump anything. If you see something you were going to want anyway, feel free to pick it up. That's all I got. My name's Alex. This is Nostalgianomics. Be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.